Hey Matt, happy very late Thursday. Now, I've been thinking of something to talk about, and the thing I've come up with is not being quite sure on how to phrase this, so I'll give it a go. I saw a topic of discussion today, and I was trying to think about it, and it turns out that I agree with both sides of the discussion, the argument. This confuses me because normally when you have a subject that you know something about, because this particular subject I do know quite a bit about, you would either be on one side or the other, or, you know, if there's more than two sides sometimes. Being on the fence is when you don't want to get involved, or there's, you know, you don't want to touch a subject and you aren't sure, but the problem is I am sure what I think, and what I think is both sides. So instead of being really vague, let's try and discuss what I'm talking about. You may be aware of a streamer called Pokimane. She's all over the place right now. She's one of the biggest people on Twitch, and she recently talked about burnout and how streaming every day is bad for your health. And you get to this point where, as a creator who streams every day, you can't differentiate between like working and streaming and fun and streaming, and like, when do you stop? You get to the mindset of you're sat there thinking, should I be streaming? I should be streaming right now. Or I'm playing a game. Should I be streaming it? Should I not? Am I doing this for enjoyment, for business? I don't know. So then Philip DeFranco weighed in on the subject, and he agreed about burnout and pushing yourself too far to make content to get big. As someone who works with streamers, both small streamers, large streamers, full-time streamers, part-time streamers, I can see that side of burnout. And I'm currently working with one streamer who is currently going through this phase of, he's really unsure about streaming at the moment, and he's a full-time streamer, but he probably wants to go part-time for his mental health, and he'd rather be doing other things and maybe getting a part-time job to make him feel better about things. And, you know, that's completely understandable. It's his decision, and I really get that streaming full-time, people think it's just sitting in front of a monitor and a camera playing games. There's so much more to it than that. There's financing, there's marketing as well, there's analytics, statistics, having to communicate with people outside of the streams. You're thinking about streams, how to improve them, the graphics, the music, the copyright. There's so much to think about. While I do agree that streaming too much is hazardous, I also take issue with big creators who are big. They can afford, like Philip DeFranco, for example. Obviously, he's been around YouTube a long time. His argument says he pushed himself for a long time to get big, and he got where he was because of his hard work. But that's the point. His hard work. You don't get to be a huge streamer or YouTuber just by coasting, usually. Some people get famous, some people go viral, but I just think big streamers who have done that and then say don't do it, it's kind of rich because they did it and now they're a big thing, so they don't have to worry about doing it anymore because they have teams of people in some cases. But these up and coming streamers who feel so pressured and that the market is so saturated, I can't actually see, this is where I can't make a decision. People like Pokimane and Philip DeFranco, they know because they've come up in their industries. Philip DeFranco especially, back when he was coming up, it was a new industry. It was experimental. It was weird. It wasn't known. It was a new social media site, but really YouTube was one of the first big experiments into social media personalities. He made it work by putting so many hours into it and learning how to understand this new and ever evolving platform. And then, so they're huge and they know what they're talking about, and they've been through it all, and they know how difficult it is, but they're now in a place of, and I hate this word, privilege, where they can now sit back and say, you know what, actually that wasn't a great thing to do. But then you look at the new streamers, as I previously said, who want to get to that position. They want to become famous, or they want their own big community around them. They want to support themselves financially streaming so they don't have to worry about money and they can do what they love, but they can't without putting the time, effort, grind into it. So where do you draw the line? That's why as a community manager who works with these streamers, I can understand. I totally get it. I've seen people burn out. I've burned out myself, and I don't actually stream. I just do the back end stuff. Matt, what do you think? How would you approach this situation when you know and can see from both sides but can't actually make an informed decision? How do you go about making such a decision? I think getting other people's opinions will help, because right now I'm not sure. I realize this video is probably going to have 4 minutes, again, just like my video on Sunday did. If you feel like giving me some sort of challenge or punishment, go ahead. I did miss videos too. Things have been up in the air. I mean, I'm having to film this at 11 o'clock at night. Look forward to possibly hearing a challenge. Or if not, I'm fine with not doing a challenge or a punishment as well. Have a great day, keep mattering, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday.